Good morning and welcome. Patriot News Hour on this Wednesday. Joe and Jason will be here in a little bit. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. It's happened, right? We hit the deadline, and like most deadlines, nothing happened. We had a Taco Tuesday, and we'll take. Listen, be happy about it. You know, who won, who lost? Is it even going to stay? I don't know. But at least today, I shouldn't say no bombs. Bombs are still falling, unfortunately, just a lot less. Of course, remember, we're going to do text it, but we'll do that in the second half. Some more good. In the last 2 weeks, a lot of progress with Texit and Iskander. Hasn't reflected it in the price yet, but it will. You got to build it first. But here's what's going on. So they said a 2-week ceasefire. 2 weeks, and Iran will let boats through the strait. Okay. Sounded good. What we learned this morning is that before the boats could go through the strait, they got to pay Iran $2 billion. Every boat. Now, it doesn't matter, friendly, not friendly, but so far, 2 boats have gone through the strait as of, right this second. Something very interesting is here's what Iran is demanding. The $2 billion, and they pay it in crypto. So they have to pay in crypto before they pass through. They need to monitor what goes in and out of the strait to ensure these 2 weeks aren't used for transferring weapons. So, according to the Iranians, say we need to know everything that's going on because you may be transferring weapons. Everything may pass through, but it will take time for each vessel. And oh, by the way, Iran is not in a rush. And they gave a list of demands that they would want to see happen during the, quote, 2-week ceasefire talk. The tariff adds about $1 a barrel to the price of oil. So if you got a big oil ship and you pay $2 million, it adds about $1 to the price of oil. So it's doable. But it kind of was, an interesting little wrinkle. Unfortunately, there was some breaches of the ceasefire. Right now, after these 2 tankers went through, there has been a pause. This is kind of just new here. A pause in boats as Iran is accusing Israel of breaking the ceasefire. Here we go, right?
Well, I mean, silver was up $5 an ounce earlier this morning, and gold was doing good. Oil price is coming down, and I was wondering why silver's kind of coming back, and gold is up $100 now, it's up 40s. It's interesting because somebody has this information financially, right, Joe? Somebody has this stuff, so we find out later. So, what do you think, Joe? You think Iran?
I don't know.
You think Iran's like
they're supposed to meet? We are supposed to meet an Iranian delegation on Friday in Islamabad, in Pakistan. Here's what I do know: there was a oil facility in Iran that was hit. There was also, the East-West oil pipeline in Saudi Arabia. It was a pumping station that was hit, and I'm assuming that was by the Iranians. I don't know. Now, that's the pipeline we keep saying. Boy, if that blows up, we got a problem. Now, this is just a pumping station. It's inconvenient, but it still allows for the pipeline to be used. And then, of course, Israel launched a massive attack in Lebanon because apparently Israel says the ceasefire doesn't apply to Lebanon. So,
yes,
I don't know, Jason.
Yeah.
Right?
I heard the wreckage at that pipeline. That center had a Star of David on it. The rocket wreckage.
I don't know. Right. And again, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
That has been off limits.
Well, I mean, if there's a ceasefire, and who would benefit from breaking the ceasefire more than the government of Israel, who wants to eradicate their neighbors? They got all the oil they need. They're getting the tankers from Venezuela.
Well, the Dow is up 1,000 points. 10-year note back below 4.3. Remember yesterday we were talking, gosh, how far above 4.4 is it going to be? Oil at one point was down over $23. Right now, down 17. We'll keep watching. We'll see what happens. So, at least for now, maybe a delay here as, I don't know, somebody had to, I always like it like an argument, I got to get the last word in, right? That's kind of let's hope that this is what that was. You know what? You hit last. No, what? No, I'm going to throw one more at you.
But you did say the ships, after two ships went through it, paused. So you did say that.
Yes.
And if this is a crypto deal, did the crypto actually make it there?
Well, and again, apparently they don't have a lot of time. The Iranians are like, okay, here you go. And literally, what I'm hearing, and again, I don't know, but they're only allowed, I don't know, they're saying a few seconds to send that crypto in. So if they take too long in sending the money to the wallet, the Iranians, I guess, cancel it, right? Which I get, right? They're like, hey, we don't want that wallet to get hacked by a hacker, right? So here you go. You gotta be ready to make the payment, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, oil. Let's go. Let's just take a look. So Dow's up 1,000, S&P's up 140, Nasdaq's up 570. The 10-year note 427. So right down like a whole basis. What were we yesterday? 437, 438. Crude oil, NYMEX crude down 17 to 95.36. Brent crude down 14 to 95. Now remember, there's a month difference in the contract between those things. TV gold's up 88 and silver's up 325. I'll tell you, gold's up $42. 40. Let's just call it 47.50. 47.49. We'll round it up. 47.50. Silver's up 214. Over $75. Jason said silver was $77. Gold was
48.
Yeah, 48. Over $4,800. And then all of a sudden there was, maybe someone called timeout, right? Timeout. Let's, see what happens here. And Jason, I'm all for the end of this thing, right?
I've never seen so much market manipulation from the microphone as we've had in the last 6 weeks. I mean, think about every word that Trump has said is moving the markets. Everybody is reacting to his left and right, back and forth narration, and here we are. So now we got look at how quickly it reacted to the 2-week ceasefire, and then ships stopped going through, and then pull it. I mean, people are really controlled by what these guys are saying in front of the television, Joe. So we'll have to do the same, right? We don't have any inside information.
So President Trump said Iran put forward a 10-point peace plan and says it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. So here is the plan, the 10 points.
Let's hear it.
This is Iran's 10 points.
Oh, yes, okay.
Number one, the U.S. must fundamentally commit to guaranteeing non-aggression, continuation of Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz, acceptance that Iran can enrich uranium for its nuclear program, removal of all primary sanctions on Iran, removal of all secondary sanctions against foreign entities that do business with Iranian institutions. So this is kind of like, well, hey, you can't sell them chips, you can't sell them this, you can't sell them that. So far, pretty much all of these seem like non-starters to me, but apparently something changed, and this is a grounds to negotiate. End of all United Security Council resolutions targeting Iran. End of all International Atomic Energy Agency's resolutions on Iran's nuclear program. Compensation payment for Iran for war damages. The withdrawal of U.S. combat forces from the region. A ceasefire on all fronts, including Israel's conflict with Hezbollah in Lebanon. So that is the 10 points. I don't know, right?
Why do we get the feeling the renegotiation will be Iran has decided that they will not enrich any uranium? That'll be the big win on the negotiation. We got Iran to agree not to make a nuclear weapon that they've been trying to make for 30 years, and then the sanctions. So, Joe, this is where I think Iran might be bought off. But this deal, I think, could be signed, and the uranium thing will go off the table, and then there's no sanctions on Iran, and they're a part of the world community. It's so awesome, and they can shut the Strait of Hormuz down anytime we need inflation, because they can just blame Iran for enriching uranium like they've done the last 30 years. So anytime you need a built-in war with Iran, it'll be there. There's no sanctions on Iran. That's what they really want. They want to economically benefit from their oil, and and we got our inflation. Everyone wins, Joe. Every situation is there and ready for the future.
Yeah. I mean, look at today, right? Iran. Oh, we'll let a few go through. Oh, wait, time out.
Can you imagine?
Right? So
can you imagine the war ends, Joe? What the news will say? Trump will be on it's like, I got them to stop doing nuclear, so we have won. They will not be a nuclear power that we have to worry about. And then anytime they have to do another fake war, it'll be because I think they're making nuclear weapons. We got to get in there. Close the strait. Oil goes up. Inflation, baby. It's perfect. We'll see if they actually sign the deal.
Both sides are going to claim victory. That we know, right? Both sides are going to claim victory, right?
Well, I mean, if you sign an economic deal and everybody makes money, then I guess they both did win. Just not the citizens of Iran or the citizens of America. We'll be paying the taxes on the war. The war bill on this thing. Let's go fix everything now, Joe.
Right? I don't know. I'm confused, but that's not a surprise. I've been confused the whole time this has been going on. Let's see, $20 gold pieces, $48.95. $48.95. That's still spots. $47.55 right now. Gold's up $48 now. It's as long as boats go through the strait. I don't care. Listen, they'll celebrate 2 boats, 5 boats, 10 boats. I don't know. Are we ever going to get back to 200 boats a day? We got.
Why do I get the feeling on the back end of that deal, which wasn't in that 10 points, and we will sell all of our Iranian oil in dollars? Why do I feel like that's part of this?
I haven't heard that.
Oh, I bet that's where it ends up. If there's actual peace.
I would say this. How's this? We'll let them charge their $1 a barrel. Apparently, we're going to let them do that. To me, I thought, okay, they're going to open up the strait and not collect any money. Right? No, Iran's like, no, we're collecting our money. And of course, they're saying they're going to use that money to pay for all the damage you caused by blowing up all our crap, right?
Right.
If Iran would agree to sell oil in dollars, interesting.
I don't know if they'd admit it, Joe. That's your thing. I don't think that'll actually hit the news.
I would call that a big win. I would.
Well, for the world system, yes.
A win.
Yeah.
I would. Absolutely. That would be something. Because right now, if you're asking me, okay, who's winning this so far, right? And again, don't get me wrong, right? We've nailed the Iranians. Okay,
Yeah.
we blew up a lot of stuff. Let's just say that. Of course, and Iran fired a lot of missiles, right? So either way, we used a lot of missiles. They used a lot of missiles. There's a lot less missiles in the world today because of it, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like they couldn't figure out how to end it. How's that? Right? We got involved with the Iranians weren't able to overthrow the government. And now how do you get, essentially Donald Trump's like, yeah, we're going to put you out of misery, right? We're going to turn Iran into a parking lot. I mean, there's nowhere else to go after that threat. Either you do it or you don't, right? I mean, they took it as far as they could.
And we'll see if all the financial interests are satisfied after this, and both parties can go back to their corner and wait for the next round bell to go off. Who knows, a year from now or whatever, right, Joe? Or is it going to be? This will be. 2 days?
Will say this. This will be very good because the inflation reports coming out tomorrow, and especially the one on Friday, I think they're going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Right? Of course they are. We know that.
Yeah.
But this will soften the blow. Right? This will allow the bond market to not go crazy. Right? This will allow them to say, oh, well, you know what? If we're going to have peace, don't worry. It'll go back down just as fast. Right? So we'll see. We'll see how long this.
I like the way that the oil disruption flows. Let's just say this thing actually comes to an end. The current battling. And the oil, there's no oil in the boats in the oceans to replace the ones that didn't go. So just in time for the spring and summer vacationing travel season. So, yeah, that inflation is going to be heavy. The energy disruption should be hitting all summer long, Joe. It's going to be a while to get those
Best case, out. Right? Best case, the war's over, right? And Israel behaves, Iran behaves, everybody behaves. A good case, the war is over because Iran blinked. The next good case, the war is over because Trump blinked.
I think they shook hands.
The next case, the war is paused and Hormuz reopens briefly to give some breathing room because the U.S. blinked, which we blinked. Worst case, ceasefire collapses and the war both continues and escalates. So those are, those are pretty much the choices right now. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Wait and see.
But there's only, I will say this, I think there is only one worst case, which is the war starts back again. Even if, like right now, okay, we're not letting any ships, we let 2, but time out, that's still better than what was happening, right? If we're down to, well, Israel launched one attack here and Iran wants one there. That's a whole lot better than 300, right? No doubt about that. So I'll just say this. Almost every case is going to be good, and I don't care about anything else. It'll be good for our pocketbook and good for precious metals. There's only really one case that's going to get really bad.
Yes, ma'am.
If something breaks while we're on the air, we'll bring it to you. But for right now, it's kind of holding together. Only 2 ships have gone through. There were some attacks that we'll see what happens with, but hopefully this thing progresses. Gold $47.55, $20 gold pieces $48.95 at 800-951-0592. But I want to get into Texit. Man, the last 2 weeks have been at least the good stuff, good things happening across the board for Texit. I want to TexitCoin.org. You guys can go out to TexitCoin.org. Go to the drop-down menu. You can see we have a legal section there. Up there today is the response from our attorneys, Quinn Emanuel, to the TSSB. That's the Texas Securities Board. You guys can read that there. We're set to go for August. Everything appears to be at least going in the right direction. Last week I told you about our merge mining operation and that we are now mining Litecoin and Dogecoin along with Iskander and Texit Coin. That has gone very well. We're now, about 8 days into it. So I think enough of a sample size, maybe a few more days. But what it appears is every 2 containers that are running, we're making, after paying all the electricity and all that stuff, about $40,000 a month. We learned yesterday that we are getting ready to put in 4 more containers, and they should be operational in the next 30 days. So let's just say before May is over, we will be running at 21 million mega hash, or just below the 23 that we've sold. Of course, we bought $30 million worth of this, but the deal's been struck and it's going. That should, in theory, and we'll see what happens, but, tells us, okay, well, and I want to be a little conservative here, that we'll be mining enough Lite and Dogecoin, and obviously with these new containers going on, we'll be mining even more of it. We'll be making roughly $100,000 a month after paying for the electricity and some overhead stuff, basically full payment of whatever is required to have the containers running, which is huge. And of course, Victoria, that's the 7th container, right? Still August. One of the things that is changed, originally we were going to have 35 sites all over Texas. That was kind of like the idea. Well, it was a good idea. Unfortunately, because of data centers, AI, all of this stuff, they don't build I don't know what to call it, so I'll call it the controller. When you're sending a megawatt of power down the line, you have to have a system like a big surge protector that makes sure you don't send more than the 1 megawatt of power, right? Because you get a surge, right? Then all your equipment blows up, right? You don't want that. Well, they don't make the 1 megawatt of power. Well, I shouldn't say they don't. You got to special order them now. That used to be a lot of power. Well, now everybody wants to put thousands of servers in one spot, so they primarily build huge, like 5 megawatts of power, 10 megawatts of power. If you only want 1 megawatt of power, if you call them today, they're like, yeah, we'll get it to you sometime in 2027. Right? 9 months from now, you can get what you need for 1 megawatt of power. So we're not going to do 1 megawatts of power anymore. We're going to, do things bigger than that because otherwise you got to wait forever. But the next 4 containers, it's already starting. We're already getting them moving and getting them set up, getting them placed, getting the servers put in. We should be up and running. You know what? I'm going to give us a little grace here. Before May is over, that will all be up and running. So it has been extremely successful. We're got to be happy with the results, and we think the results only get better. Because of what's happened in the Middle East, the first of the Iskander mines is going to be built in one of the Northern European countries, details to come. Remember, they will also be mining light and Doge, right? So that's another potential, right, for, hey, now we're going to make 150,000, 200,000 a month. So keep that in mind. As the network grows, so does the profitability of the coin. It's one of the things, that we remember, and I know it sucks because, the path to 16, but that was one of the things that we knew, hey, we're going to be a major force in mining light and Dogecoin. So good information there. When we get back, get to the big news. Yeah, bigger than that. A lot bigger. That's coming up. We're back here. Patriot Radio News Hour, 800-951-0592. There is a little more breaking news here. I told you we would give it to you. The White House is saying that the 10-point peace plan that Iran publicly released, the one I told you about earlier, differs from the plan that Trump said was workable to negotiate. So take that for what that may be worth. But back to Texas Coin. So the merge mining, very successful. I think even better than what we were hoping for. So that's positive. And it's consistent, right? That's the other thing. The daily mine, wow, what a huge improvement, right? So now we're 8-9 straight days in a row where it's been between 118,000 coins to 120,000 coins. Also, the Iskander network, which they produce more coins every day. Also, same, operating at 99% efficiency, which is really good news because it does help in the amount of coins you receive every day. By the way, still can't, if you're in Texas, you can't buy mining seats in Iskander or in Texas Coin, but everybody else can. Just to give you an idea, we are starting back. There's going to be a big East Coast tour. The first stop will be in Nashville on April the 21st. So if you're near Nashville and you want to attend, reach out to us and we can help you do that. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on the 25th. We'll be in Jacksonville April 28th. That's in Florida, obviously. Ocala, Florida, April 30th. Orlando on the 2nd. And then, of course, we'll be there for the polo event on May the 9th. So, going to really try to get our story out there. Obviously, a better story today than it was a week and a half ago. But still things we have to work through. Now, the other big news. We are going to form a co-op. So right now, when you look at Texacoin, right, there is no real entity, right? There is, there was no articles of incorporation, right? It was just an idea, and obviously hindsight being 2020, right? This should have been done at the very beginning, but we are going to form a co-op, and it's going to be in Wyoming. Wyoming, and a lot of you already know this, right? Wyoming. That is the place where most businesses are now forming. They've got the best regulations and so on and so forth. What does that mean? All that means is for those that want to be part of the co-op, you don't have to be. But for those that want to be, you're essentially like an owner. Right? You have skin in the game, so to speak, in the co-op. I have been asked to serve on some of the boards of the co-op, which I'll know exactly which one here. Hopefully next week I'll tell you which ones that I'm going to be on. All the assets, right, will be owned by the co-op. And no longer will this be, I guess, whatever Bobby wants is what Texacoin and Iskander is going to do. Bobby is still going to be kind of like the chairman of the board, if you will, but he is going to focus on what he does best. He's going to be out there promoting the coin, and he's working on Layer 2, right? Downtown digital dollars, fair money. By the way, there's a lot of stuff happening there. We're just not going to tell you about it. It's just better that way. But this is also going to go a long way with the SEC. So one of the things that we are going to do is essentially set up some structure. There will be, they're calling it the Silver Guard. I don't know exactly how many of us there's going to be, but let's say 50 different individuals that will be serving on different committees. There's going to be one for the budget. There's going to be a committee for promotions. There's going to be a committee that's going to deal with legal. There's going to be a committee that's going to deal with mining and all the basic things. And the good part is I think it's going to give us a lot better exposure. And we all own a piece of it. One of the things that has been decided, the type of co-op that we're going to be, is any profit has to be put back in to the company. In other words, there will not be hey, we're gonna give the board a big check for a job well done. Every single dollar goes back into the network itself, and nobody is allowed to benefit from those said profits. All of us benefit, or nobody benefits, obviously, if there isn't a profit. There you go. I mean, huge step in the right direction. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment. Then tomorrow we'll get the inflation numbers. We'll see what's going on. But today in the market, gold's up $56, $47.63. $20 gold pieces, $48.95 at 800-951-0592. And then, of course, the Texas coin update, the merge mining, the mining of Light and Dogecoin, even better than we had expected. It's an all-out push now to get as much mining equipment installed. And we'll have, like I said, 4 more containers up and running in about 30 days and really start adding value to the company. And don't forget, we're waiting on the Middle East. We're not going to wait anymore. We're going to start building the mine across Northern Europe. And when the Middle East calms down, we'll probably go back there. But again, all of that will come in and just add to it. We are creating, it's going to be called the Iskander Digital Mining Cooperative. And just so people know, I don't want people to get confused. I think we may change the name of the Iskander coin, but the Iskander Digital Mining Cooperative, all the coins will live under that. That's where Texas coin's going to live, whatever we're going to call the Iskander coin, all the other future coins. But Texas coin is still the main coin. That is the network that's going to be used. How's that? All the other coins will use the Texas coin network. So the Texas coin blockchain, the Texas coin blockchain. But the, things that are better, a real corporate structure, right? It's needed. Obviously, it was needed. Members now becoming participants in the community. I think that's something where more voices to be heard, not one person calling all the shots. The clear, stronger path forward. Obviously, this addresses a major issue with the SEC. So that is something that I think is going to allow us a good outcome with the SEC. More transparency, more voice, more structure, and obviously we're using Wyoming because that is the best place to have corporations in the United States right now, and obviously very, very friendly. I will say that Bobby's going to move his call to Thursday, and all of his calls are going to be kind of like new miners, people that have questions about mining. That will be on Thursday. Mitchell Tucker, who I've met Mitchell quite a few times, really smart guy. He will take over the Tuesday night calls. And again, like I said, the biggest thing in all of this is more structure. Everybody that wants to be a member can be a member. If you don't want to be a member, you don't have to be. There are requirements that will be of that, and nothing huge. Like there's going to be like a declaration that you would sign in being a member of the co-ops, stuff like that. But I think anyway, positive developments for the future. We'll see as we keep building, right? Things keep, getting a little better. Things were getting worse and worse and worse for a long time. Kind of nice to see things starting to get better and better and better, and hopefully that will continue